3, no more messing around. We're going to some of the good stuff. Now, okay, so we are going to the good half of Korra. So, I think we said it in books 1 and 2. Throw them off the window. We're going to some of the good stuff. Okay, so, book 3. Yeah, I think the things started to get really, really good. So, here we go. Let's go straight to the categories. So, yeah, let's start. By the way, it's really dark. I don't know why it's really dark. Maybe because it actually is dark outside, but like, the lights are just not working very well. Again, I could just bring my actual like soft lights, but they're not worth this video. So anyway, favorite episode. So for a change, pun not intended, but might as well make it anyway a pun. So for change of pace. My favorite episode is actually the first one, A Breath of Fresh Air. And it's literally that, because, how I want to say this, because, well, for all the other Avatar books, like, my favorite episode tends to be somewhere in the middle of the season, and my least favorite usually around, like, before the middle of the season. So, in this case, it is the first episode, because things go nuts in the first episode. So, if you want to summarize change in one episode, it's that. So, yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of things that happened in the first episode, but I kind of want to get to it on the favorite moment section, because it's only like about a minute or so into the first episode. It's already a good moment. So. Yeah, it was not my favorite moment of the season, but like, yeah, the first few minutes of the book actually is one of my favorite moments. Likewise, the last moments of the final episode of the season is actually true to one of my favorite moments. Episode 13, Venom of the Red Lotus. A good finale. However, there's a lot of nonsense, like, I won't say nonsense, but a lot of stuff that you don't want to mess with. Like, for example, like, the stakes being pretty dang high because Korra is being poisoned by, like, mercury. And, or whatever, I don't think they said it's mercury, but, I mean, it's a metallic liquid, so of course it's probably mercury or something similar. But, like, it's kind of nuts. And then the boys the boys and Asami had to like figure out how to rescue Korra out of that nonsense. But like, it is crazy. There's like the first few moments and the last few moments are kind of amazing. Heck, even the middle of the book isn't that bad. So yeah, first few moments, last few moments, good, amazing. My least favorite episode. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to put it to Rebirth, the next episode, because I don't know, but because like the first episode is so good, but like the second one is just kind of nuts, kind of an aftermath of the good parts, like for example when Tenzin just like wants to try to recruit everybody. But, like, he failed to do so because he doesn't seem to understand what people actually want or what people actually would want. Especially considering all the gags of Tenzin say, oh, hey, you could do this, and you don't have to worry about that. But I think exactly the opposite of what the other person presented it would like. Like we said, we're talking about, oh, you don't have to eat on me because you're vegetarian. He talks to a guy who's literally in the middle of eating, like, some sort of meat. Meanwhile, Korra and the boys just go inside this, like, clearly this, like, basement dwelling otaku kind of guy who doesn't want any of, what's going on. Just wants to stay in his house with his mom, and the mom just completely, like, really wants the son to go out. It's kind of a I wouldn't say the metaphor, but it's like definitely everything's like people like to stay in the basement with their moms. Whatever, even way above their age. I mean, I'm almost 30, that should probably apply, but I'm the second floor, so that doesn't count. But whatever, that's not important. Anyway, also least favorite episode, I'm not sure if the 9th or the 10th, but the one called the Stakeout. Because I wrote it here as episode 10, but like another segment of was episode 9, so I don't know which is which. So yeah, I just feel like this episode kind of doesn't need. I mean, it does need to exist for some parts, but like in other parts, just kind of meh, kind of like. I mean, granted, like not everything like needs to be related to the story or character development, but I'm just saying that but a good chunk of that episode is kind of meh, and that's pretty much it. My favorite character has to be Kai, because my goodness, this kid. Okay, so yeah, it's clear with this kid, like, he's kind of like a thief, but like he can turn over a new leaf by becoming the leaf and be. That was episode 1, not episode 1, reference to like first book, and once he realizes, oh, he's an airbender, he feels like it's a whole. He feels like he can have a second chance. And yeah, he's actually pretty good. Cause like, it's funny because I'm not thinking about it. A thief is like exactly the kind of character you would want to be an airbender, or like to expect to be an airbender. Yeah, the airbenders are all like spiritually pure, like big important, like monkey business, monk dash e business. But yeah, a thief makes sense. Like for the kind of like fighting style, the airbenders tend to be more like evasive maneuvers, like trying to like fight head on as little as possible. That's definitely the kind of character Kai is. And also, I just really like Opal. She's really cute. Yeah, I just find she's cute. Not like she could have been waifu material, but I don't know. I just like other character. If I had to choose a wife, I'd probably Kyoshi or next book Korra, but you'll know. But I'll talk about next book. But yeah, Opal's a cute girl. Oh yeah, she's cute. But like the villains in the season are very good. Like the main villain, it's kind of awesome. But like I don't know about you, but I like the Earthbender in the group, Ganzan. I feel like he is super chill. Like for a lot of the bender. But like he's a super chill dude. I really like his his scenes with Bolin. I believe that I have it on my favorite section, my favorite moment section. Yeah, like yeah, Ganzan is like a really chill dude. He's like Ganzan is one of those guys that like if he wasn't the villain, he would definitely teach Bolin how to lava bend. Kind of guy. It's like he could have been the kind of guy who's like who doesn't want to go to jail, but instead of dying his way, he would instead, you know what? Okay, fine. All my guys are gonna die anyway. Even though I'm probably losing all my the whole point of this little anarchy thing. How about, hey, this kid knows how to lava bend. Hey, how about I teach it? Because lava bend's got lava bend. I feel like Ganzan would have been a character. I think Ganzan is the only character out of the villains who would deserve to have more stories. Because, like, Minghua kind of meh. Pali dying is kind of a big deal. Because I kind of like Pali's design. Like she does her combustion bend, and she's like the sniper of the group. And she's like freaking huge. And, like he's taller than Zahir, and, she's very more built than Zahir. But, Pali, even though I like Pali's design, but like her dying is kind of important to the story, which kind of sucks. And Zahir is like, he's a cool villain. He's a good villain. He's a really good villain. But Minghua is kind of like, if I had to choose like a hierarchy of my favorite out of the book 3 villains of the Red Lotus, definitely it's like Minghua at the bottom, Minghua at the bottom, Pali, Zahir, Ganzan. And Pali being third is only because, she had to die. But, she had to die for the story to work. Like, Minghua didn't need to die for the story to work. But, but then her dying is kind of crazy. But, I think Ganzan would have worked if he didn't die, but, what are you gonna do? Anyway, least favorite character is the Earth Queen, because she's kind of made to be, really, the character who's designed to be bad. It was designed to be hated. So, what am I gonna do? There's really a character that I would hate to love or love to hate. Oh no, love to hate is Earth Queen. But like or a character that is unintentionally really not good or really boring. And yes, I guess I'll probably talk about another character, but that's a whole different story. I'll get to that. But the Earth Queen is like designed to be hated. That she's there because there's no one really else. So anyway, favorite moments. Again, I was doing this in episode order. So let's go with like probably my second favorite moment right off the bat, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going as I go. Okay. So the first few minutes of episode 1, Boom, you just playing around with his spirit with Boomju, if I'm not mistaken, his name is, and he falls down from a tree, and he just does a defensive stance, and then starts airbending, and I noticed that when this in a different scene when Boomy like shows everyone he can airbend, that the episode kind of stalls out for a few seconds, because I assume that is what the creators are expecting for people to be surprised and shocked that, oh my goodness, he can airbend, and then just wait a second for the audience to get accustomed to it, or get their surprises out of the way. But aside from that, the fact that he can airbend, of all things, it's kind of sick. Because I remember, I believe I remember like actually watching this when it was actually out live. I was surprised too that Boomy can airbend now. That's kind of late but cool, and it's kind of crazy. And of course, like following that, when when the cat on the table, and like Boom was telling them, oh, he can airbend, and nobody believed it. Milo just slams on the table, gets a plate, and let's say this is the plate, right? So jumps up the table, the thing falls up, and says, "Look alive, Uncle Boomy!" Foof! And then he started like taking it, and then he just did his little defensive maneuver, and he was like, "I told you!" And then everybody was surprised, like everyone's faces is absolutely amazing. It's just this absolute shock. Awesome. But yeah, also, kind of a wholesome moment is like, once Tenzin realizes like there are just a lot of other airbenders because of harmonic convergence, he just becomes happy, even crying, that like, the new airbender starting to exist, and he was sitting right, looking at the Aang statue, and he was wanting to tell his kids that he wishes like their grandfather would see all of this, that the Air Nation is finally being restored. That is a wholesome moment. Alright, so episode 4, really short moment. The villains rescue Pali, and once they go to their vehicle, Pali and Zeke immediately kiss, and then Ganzan was saying, "Really? Right now?" I don't know why, but that is just like, are you kidding me? You guys just shut up and start kissing right away. We got things to do here. Doesn't help that I'm driving. I'm driving and you guys do this? You just, come on. Ganzan is a really cool character, I'm just saying. Episode 6, when the grid goes to Su Yin for the first time, and then near the end of the episode, like Lin reconciling with her, because like Lin doesn't really like Su Yin all that much, but she eventually comes to terms with her. So I mean, it's kind of a wholesome moment, but like it didn't lead up to a wholesome moment, that's for sure. But it was definitely wholesome. Episode 7. What was it? I believe I'm mistaken. Like Junor, Kai was talking to Junor about like, hey, wait a minute, you're really good at airbending. Why don't you get the tattoos? And then she was saying that to Tenzin, and Tenzin was like kind of objecting because it's still his baby girl. But then like near the end of the episode, Tenzin realizes, I guess everyone is growing up, because he's starting to go into terms with Junor actually growing up to be an airbending master, which will eventually lead to my favorite moment out of the book, but we'll get there last. Next episode 10 or episode 10. Or is that episode 10? Okay, so Stakeout may not be the best episode, but holy crud. But anyway, the moment where oh no, it's after that, yeah. It's after the Stakeout, right? That Bolin was casually talking to Ganzan and Minghua about stuff. And like that whole scene was kind of awesome. Because, you know, it gives just a little pause, a little like a casual one for the villains, especially with Ganzan. And he was wondering, man, it's really hard to, it's really hard to stay in prison for 13 years. And then, you know, Ganzan was saying, I know, right? I was just, you know, looking up to the stars or whatever, and if things, like, anything could be a big event. And Minghua saying, oh, I just, you know, imagine, like, stories and stuff. And then immediately I'm thinking about Free, you know, the anime Free. I've not watched it, but I watched the Bridge Street 50% off. And the girl in there is all immediately fantasizing about guys and yaoi business, but like I was thinking maybe she's thinking about them yaoi business. Am I right? But then Bolin was saying, let me do one for you guys. And let me see if I can remember exactly. I don't think I can. So Ganzan saying, oh, you probably were raised by an older sister. You had a mustache when you were like 10 or something. And I'm just saying, you two might have some romantic tension going on. And then Ganzan was saying, 2 out of 3, not bad. I'm just saying that entire scene was chill. It was a really chill scene with the villains and the main characters. I like that scene. Too bad you don't get to see much out of Ganzan. But next episode 11, the whole radio scene. The radio scene. I mentioned this in the previous video. To get ready for that scene. If you it's on YouTube, so you can just watch that. But like the part where Bolen's trying to radio Air Temple Island, especially to Milo to get Tenzin, but then like Milo saying, "Oh yeah," so to create some nonsense, try to stall out, and immediately Korra is saying, "Milo, Mr. Commanding Officer, get me your father now." He's like, yes, sir. Okay, so speaking of Milo, I'm gonna have to pause for a bit because remember I said earlier about like a scene in which Tenzin starts telling Milo how like train this little lemur. It clearly shows on this season where Milo's trying to be more and more like a commander, trying to be like Boomy, I guess. Or rather, he thinks just like Boomy. Yeah, try to be a lot more like commanding. It's kind of nuts, actually. I still think it's because of that one thing with Tenzin that like made Milo like this, and then Tenzin just doesn't mind. But anyway, in episode 13, like I mentioned this earlier about the whole the tragic scene. I don't want to put it as a favorite moment. I really don't, because I really don't like the fact that just torturing Korra. I hate that. But the scene itself, the way the scene is going, the tension, like the storytelling is really pretty dang high. Because yes, the part where in book 1 where the Avatar Korra just lost all her bending, it's a big deal. But like the stakes have really like risen up. With the whole not only Korra dying, but no more Avatar. But it's crazy. But the real favorite. Okay, so this is the we are not gonna F around with this one favorite moment. So I believe up to now that my favorite moment in the series. We'll talk about book 4 later, but I believe that to this point, I believe the favorite moment is like probably the finale of the book, where Jinora gets her tattoos. This is like the big moment. This is like the big moment because like if you really think about it, like it's the first new airbending master in a generation, right? Now if you really think about it, with all this huge ceremony, all different airbenders, and see this the temple and the people watching. Now I can just imagine like when Tanzan got his tattoos, even though that never really happened, like we never actually seen it, but like you can already imagine like Aang had to give like Tanzan his tattoos, but like, there's no big ceremony because there's only like just those two airbenders total. Yikes. Man, probably would not have been really happy, but like, or it could have been really happy, but I don't know. But like that in that whole scene. Now, also the best part is the like, when Jinora finally reveals herself with a tattoo, she looks almost just like Aang. That is like uncanny. That it almost feels like got a little mini Aang in Korra. It's cute. It's wholesome. It's amazing. Okay. Least favorite moment. Now, so there's only like minor things. It's like there's one like a really minor thing and a really really minor thing. Actually thought that there was one piece of like of the least favorite moment because I thought something was censored, but I went to check, but it wasn't. Because I actually thought that like this when Pali died, I thought that there's gonna be a huge explosion sound. But I went back to look at the original scene, and there wasn't this big explosion sound, so I'm not going to put it in the least favorite moment. I mean, this is part of episode 6 where Bolin's being awkward to Opal, but, like, I mean, I don't like people being awkward, I don't like people, like, embarrassing themselves, because that's just kind of me. But, like, that generally gets resolved quickly, because Opal's the one Bolin to be, like, this crazy, cringy dude. So, thank you, Opal. But, like, in the Stakeout, nobody's like when Korra just busts into Aiwei's door and tries to go to the spirit world, find him, to actually get him to see Zahir. And Zahir just takes Aiwei's spirit, throws it into the foggy area from the previous book. Nobody seems to care. Like once the spirit is dumped into the fog, he's never seen again. And I'm like, wait, is no one going to pick him up? Like, is no one going to go back, go to the spirit world, get his spirit back, put it in his body? It's probably still in the Misty Palms, or is it Misty Palms, or is it some other area? I think it's Misty Palms. I think it's Misty Palms. Nobody in Misty Palms gonna wonder like why is this dude like still in the hotel room and just lifeless? Did he just die all of a sudden? It's like what's good? It's like nobody bothered to pick him up. Like the thing is, I kind of get it that like Korra didn't have time to because she almost immediately got captured by the Earth Queen, and there's all sorts of crazy nonsense that happened, but like nobody bothered. Like Su Yan didn't bother. I mean, Su Yan didn't at the point stop caring, but like nobody seemed to bother to go get his spirit back. It's like you just basically just dude is dead, and people are going to assume that Korra did it because he's the last person to see him. I'm just saying. But I guess since nobody cares about Aiwei because he's supposed to be a minor villain, we'll just like end off there. All right. This is going to be the last video. Next one's going to be the last video, my bad. Next video is going to be the last video of Book 4 Balance. So, unless a brand new Avatar series is coming in, this is going to be the last video. Or you're going to animate the Kyoshi novels. Then I might do it. I'm not going to make a video of the Kyoshi novels themselves, because I tried to listen to the audiobooks, but like, the YouTube channel that had the audiobooks just died in the middle of me listening to it. So, can't do that. Plus, they don't have a set favorite character in the Kyoshi novels, so... Anyway. But yeah, next is going to be the final season, the final book. This is going to get kind of insane, because I heard that books 3 and 4 have actually made around simultaneously, which is why Kuvira is already got revealed before the book starts. Which, now that I think about it, like, it really just sets up for the final book, because like there's no reason for Kuvira to reveal herself before the book starts. So it makes people think that she's probably important for later, and she is, big time. But again, we will see what happens with the end of the animated franchise. So anyway, that is. I'll see you guys later for book 4.